Okay, yeah. Welcome everyone to class. Okay, so yeah, Ms. Favor, thank you very much. So, like she said, today's class is going to be interactive. And then so today I'm going to be posing as your client. Okay. I want to actually your client has actually come to what you guys want. I want to actually see how you guys are able to, ideate through, a project brief. When someone just gives you a product, okay, this is what I want. Okay, mind you, not sometimes not every client actually has the full picture of what they actually want to do. So I'm actually going to just pose as your client and tell you what I want you guys to design today. Okay, so yeah, so this is what I want. Okay, I used to be a very good, uh, I used to actually love reading books, like reading books, but of course, struggles of life. Some of us who can relate, when you're trying to make ends meet, sometimes you get to, draw back some of your hobbies and the like. So, but I want to pick that up. Okay, I want to pick that up. So I need something. I need getting books. I need to be able to get books easily. So what I want is I want an application, a mobile application to be specific. I hope you're listening carefully. Let me slow down a bit. I want a mobile application where I can, read a book online on the application. I can also, order. I can place an order for a book. Maybe a new book came out. I can actually place an order to get it on time, and it gets delivered, maybe hard copy, or I just, made I pay for the book. They actually now send me a soft copy, maybe a PDF or something. Okay, so yeah, so that is actually what I want. So I'm going to take it again in case some of us did not take notes. Okay, so you can grab a pen and a paper. You can just open a notepad and let me see if I can let me run it through. So I am your client. My name is Ichku Achom, and I am a lover of books. I love reading. It's a hobby of mine that I dropped some time ago, but I want to pick it back up. And I need access to books. Okay, books of various categories. Okay, yeah, I love crime. Okay, and the likes, a lot of other stuff. I love crime. Actually, I think that's my forte. So I want a mobile application where I can download books. I can actually, order for a book, especially I also want to even know when a new book comes out. When a very new book comes out, probably from my favorite author, I get notified probably on the application. So I can actually order. I can place an order for the book, and it comes. They send it to my location hard copy, or I can just download the book online. Once I've paid, then they send I can actually download. So I don't know, maybe you send it by mail, or I don't know, whichever way you being the designer would see fit. Okay. So that's just a brief overview of the application that I would want you guys to work on. So I want to believe that you got that. Now, as the client, okay, I'm going to be on call to answer any question that you may have. Okay, I'm going to be on call to answer any question you may actually want to have. Okay, so thank you very much, Favor. I think I'm going to hand over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ikis, for that. So yes, that's our client. And I don't know, thank you very much, AHG, for that comment, for pointing that out on the chat box. So when you're meeting your client or your client is telling you about a product or whatever he wants, it is very important to have a notepad, okay, so that you can jot down stuff in order not to miss out on any key information, like he said. So I hope we all heard clearly what our client said, because we're going to be working together. And like I said, I'm going to talk less today. I do not even have strength. So you guys are going to do a lot of, okay, you're going to do more of the thinking and talking. Okay, so first of all, we've heard what he said. So it would be right for us to call this a book ordering app. Okay, so with that being said, we're just going to rename this, call it book ordering app.
Okay, so sorry, since I'm the client, okay, I'm actually going to intrude a bit. I want the name of my application to be iBooks, I for IKEA. So I think you can actually change that to favor. I want it to be iBooks. Thank you very much.
Okay, you've heard from your client, so I don't want to say the customer is always right. iBooks. Okay, someone said iBooks is an iPhone app already. Okay. Okay, so let's get right to it. So we know what our clients want. And now, just like any product, we're supposed to, take it one after the other, the whole design process. But then in today's class, right, we're going to assume that the user research has been carried out, all the whole steps, the steps of the whole design process has been carried out. So now what we're going to do is generate user stories. Okay, for this application, the book ordering app. But before we go into that, I'm going to ask us what user stories are. So let's have a recap here. What did we talk about user stories? What did we say user stories are? So I'm going to call people out. I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands. So you don't run away. I want everybody to be carried along in this class today. So okay, I have somebody's hand is up here. Emmanuel, what are user stories? Please unmute and tell us.
Oh, of course.
Hello, Emmanuel. Are you on the call?
Yeah, I am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, so to me, user stories are basically what a user is actually trying to get, like from the first step to the last step of what the user actually wants to get. Um, in the line of the project work, like now, for instance, with what you are trying to design as a user, he wants to be able to um, read stories, download stories, and also get notification of stories from his favorite authors. So then what it was the end part. So at the end part of what the user wants is to be able to get maximum benefit, or either for him to buy or for him to purchase new PDFs from his uh, what's it called, from his authors, or read from other authors. And I think that is what that's the end part of what he wants to achieve.
Okay, Emmanuel, thank you very
So
much. But you're
that's
going too
just from
far.
my
I
own
just, I
point of
just,
view.
yes, I know. Thank you. I asked what user stories are, not for the sample in this context. Okay, but thank you very much. That was a brilliant one. Odunayo, okay. What are user stories? Please tell us and just go straight to the point.
Okay, user stories involve the user, the goal, and the outcome. So the user is the who, that is what, and the person that needs the product, and the goal is what they want to achieve, and the outcome is why, that is the outcome, what they want to achieve at the end of the product.
Okay, nice one. Thank you very much, Odunayo. That's a good one. Osas, what are user stories?
Okay, user stories are, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Right, user stories are statements or words from the point of view of the user. The user's idea of what he wants.
Okay, thank you very much, Osas. The user's idea of what he or she wants on an application. Nice one. Please keep them coming. I want to be able to I want to know that everyone on this call knows what user stories are. That way we can carry everybody along. Olamide, what are user stories?
Good evening.
Good
User
evening.
stories are simple descriptions of the user's wants and the goal, like the reason the user wants what they want. That's what I understand by user story.
Okay, thank you very much, Olamide. So I'm going to take one more person and then we'll move ahead. Basi, what are user stories? Please unmute and tell us.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, user stories describe the type of user, what they want, and why.
Okay, that was very simple and outstanding. Thank you very much, Basi. So I've gotten a lot of responses, and I know you guys know what user stories are from the response I've gotten so far. Like we know what user stories are. So with that being said, remember our client said he wants a book ordering app, right? Where he can actually, go on the application, read books. He can search for any book of his choice because already he said his favorite is crime, like he likes crime books or crime novels. So he can actually search for any book of his choice. He can read them and he can also download them. So basically he has told us the application is all about. So now I want us, right, to generate user stories. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be working on this together. So just like people raised their hands before, I want everyone to be involved in this today. Like I already said at the beginning of this class that today's session is going to be very interactive. So I want us to generate user stories for these products. Okay, so can you raise your hands, please? Or I'll have to call people out one after the other. User stories for a book ordering app. I want to count from 1 to 5. If I don't see any hand that is being raised, I'm just going to go ahead and okay. Emmanuel, what do you have for us?
Okay, good evening once again. So for my end here, I think I have, as a user, I want to be able to filter or search for genres of stories, like the categories, so that I can
Okay,
be
thank
able
you
to
very
get,
much.
okay, so that I can be able
All
to
right,
get, okay, can I stop now?
just complete your sentence.
Okay, so that I can be able to easily navigate to my collections, or so that I can be able to easily navigate to my favorite stories.
Okay, thank you very much, Emmanuel. So that's one user story down. So I just want us to know that if you're going to answer, just make sure you're giving us one user story, not more than one user story. Okay, because we have a lot of user stories to go around. So Emmanuel said that as a user, he wants to be able to see like a list of categories. So a list of categories for more like a filter. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to I'm going to get a frame and type out these user stories so we can all see them, and that way we can carry everyone along. Okay. So if we use enter, yes, I think that's fine. Let me increase this so everyone can see it. Okay, so we got one. That's what Emmanuel said. So I'm just going to call the next person. Mary, please unmute and tell us.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Evening.
As a user, I want to be able to connect my Gmail to my account so that if peradventure I misplace my or I forget my password, they could send me notifications to my email address, and then I'll be able to retrieve it.
Okay, thank you very much, Mary. Okay, thank you very much, Mary. All right, so we have Promise. Promise, please unmute your mic.
Okay, good evening, everybody. So,
Good
as a
evening.
user, I want to be able to get notification for new books so that I can easily download the one I want.
Okay, so user can get notifications. All right, let me put that down for new books. All right, so let's keep them coming. We have Osas on. Okay, I think Osas is the next person. Osas, please unmute your mic.
Right. As a user, I want to be able to preview pages of the book to influence my download decision.
You want to be able to do what?
Preview pages of the book. Look
Okay,
into the book.
okay. All right. That's an excellent one. So as a user, you want to be able to preview the book.
Yes.
Haminat, what do you have for us?
Good evening. Okay,
Good evening.
as a user, as a business user, I would like to be able to bookmark the last page I was reading while I'm leaving the app, so I don't have to like manually search for the page when I return back to the app. So it just take me straight to where I stopped.
Hamina, please come again.
And then as a user, I would like to be able to bookmark, like mark the page I was reading last, the last page I stopped while I'm leaving the app. So I don't have to search for the page, like manually search for the page I stopped when I return. I can just go
All right.
straight to where I left.
Okay, thank you very much for that. User can mark pages of book. So I'm just going to get a few a few user stories from the chat for those of us that use the chat box. So we have here, as a user, I want to have recommendations of more books. Okay. As a user, I want to be able to either get an ebook or get an hard copy delivered to me. So with this, we can say user can order books we have another one here that says, as a book lover, I want to be able to save my downloaded books for offline access. That's a good point. So we're going to say user can save books for offline access, which means that if my data is turned off, I can actually still access this book that I have saved. So I'm going to just take 3 more, and I'm seeing here, as a user, I want to be able to download books so I can read offline. It's almost the same thing, but I'm going to put here user can download books, since we don't have that already here. Download books. As a book lover, I want to be able to have access to free books so I can still read when I can't pay for one. So I think this comes into play if the application, right? If the application is a paid one, if you have to pay for the books, that's when you now have variations, the paid copies and the ones that are free. But if we're looking at, let's say our client wants this application to be free. Okay, so all the books here are free. The only thing you have to do is, turn on your data to access this application. Okay, so that means so we had a user story that said, as a book lover, I want to be able to order books and receive them. So that means if we're ordering this book, it is no longer free. We actually have to pay for it. All right, so that we've come to a conclusion that this application is actually being paid for. So like I said, I'm just going to remind you guys, we're working on this together. So I'm just going to, since I still have some hands here, I'm just going to call some people here. Emmanuel Adewole, what do you have for us?
Good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Michael Adewale. Great.
Okay, go
So I
ahead,
have,
Michael.
yeah, as a user, I would like a feature where I can select and save books that I intend to read or buy at a later time.
Okay, to save books that you can.
That I can,
Okay,
that I
so
intend
it's
to
more
read
like
or buy.
adding to cart, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
All right, so we're
So I
going to
won't have
say
to search and search and search every time I go on the app.
all right, beautiful. Thank you very much. So user can add books to cart. And then one more, I have a very nice user story here. As a user, I want to be able to search for books by using the author's name so I can see other books written by them. Okay. So we have the last one here. User can search books by authors, because I might not remember the name of the book, right, or the title of the book, but then I can probably recall the name of the author. So if I can actually, if there's a search feature that allows me to search by the author's name, that'll actually be a very beautiful one. So as a book lover, I want to be able to access the list of the most viewed books every week so I can make an informed decision on which books to read. This is a nice one. So I'm going to add that. That'll be the last one. So user can see most viewed books. You guys have a lot of beautiful user stories. I said I was going to stop at 10, but this is me going on and on. So I'm seeing this on the chat too. User can add books to wish list or favorites. Okay. Wow. Wow. This is a lot. You guys are so smart and brilliant. This is really nice. Okay, so we have our user stories here. But before we go on, I'd like you guys to note that when you're doing your design, whatever icons or whatever action button, okay, that you have on your design, you must make sure that it is taking them somewhere, it's taking your users somewhere. So we cannot have something like maybe see all on the home screen and then the user clicks on the see all and then it is not taking the user anywhere. It is not responsive. That is very bad. So whatever you're putting on your screen, is it what do I even use as an example? List of categories, right? And we have see all. That means the user should be able to see all of the categories, or the list of the categories. If you have featured categories or featured books, see all. The user should be able to click on see all and see the list of all those books too. So I just wanted to be clear on that. So now we've actually agreed on what user stories are. We all know what user stories entail, and we've given a lot of beautiful and meaningful user stories. So now when this is done, So, like I said, this is a product that we're working on, right? And we all know that before we start our design, right, we must make sure that we have our style guide ready, because, like I told you guys, what style guide does is it makes your design process a lot easier, and it also promotes consistency in your design. Can you guys hear me? I just saw a comment that somebody cannot hear me. Okay. All right, let me move forward then. So like I said, we need to have our style guides. So for iBooks, right? This is our product, okay? A book ordering app. What are the colors? What should our primary color be? What should our secondary color be? But we're going to start with primary colors, and I need you guys to suggest. So like I said, I'm going to do less talking today, and this class is actually supposed to be interactive. So suggest primary colors for iBooks. Majority carries the vote. Someone said, does the client have any color in mind? IKEAs, clients, please come on the call. Do you have any color in mind?
Okay, I think I'll just say you guys should blow my mind. So I want to actually act as a very difficult client. Please, I don't have, just blow my mind. And just so it's possible that you actually choose a color and I just step in and say I don't like it. So let me act as a difficult client. So blow my mind.
Okay. So I'm forced to ask my clients if there's any color like blow my mind. Do you guys know any color like that? Blow my mind color. All right, so we're asked to blow our client's mind, and I'm seeing a lot of blue on this call. I'm seeing a lot of blue. So okay, blue is actually, I think blue is going to be the color, because I'm seeing a lot of blue. And like I said, that majority carries the vote. Okay, so I need you guys to understand that I am actually skipping some things just because we don't have much time. So that's why we're skipping those processes like the research. It doesn't mean that when you have your product, you're just going to rush into user stories. You have to take it one after the other. We taught you guys design processes. We have the user research, conducting your research, right? Designing or creating your empathy map, user personas, and all of that. But because we don't have much time, I wanted us to go into user stories so that we can generate user stories for the features of this application. So with that being said, blue is actually the winning team. Someone say blow my mind now, blue. Okay. So we know we have a lot of blue colors. We have different shades of blue. We have navy blue, sky blue. So what blue are we going for? Is it royal blue, sky blue? Please blow our minds. Someone said navy blue, aqua blue. Oh, someone gave me a code. This is nice. I'm going to copy this. Okay. So because somebody actually gave me a code, I want to try that out. That is very nice. That is very nice. I am actually very, very, very impressed. So I'm going to get a frame, another frame. Okay, so what's that color code we got? Please, client, are you on this call? I hope you like this color. Okay, so someone said now don't they sabi code? Yes, thank you very much. Mentor Trudy is on this call. So he said the color isn't bad. Actually, I think I like this color. It's cool. Like it's not too harsh. So I think we'll just go with this. But it's a good thing that we know our color codes and all of that. So someone said, can user stories come from empathy map summary? Yes, it can. User stories can come from empathy map summaries. You know, when you're done with your research and user personas, we actually tend to generate user stories from all of those. So yes, Louise, user stories can come from empathy map theories. So we'll just go with this then. So this is our primary color. Let me just write that out here. Primary. We're going to do what we always do with these colors later. But for now, I want us to generate the secondary colors. Okay, it was easy to get the primary color, but now we need a secondary color and I need suggestions. Make sure that whatever color you're giving us complements this other one. I've seen a color code already by Easy. So I'm just going to try this out. Let me see what this gives us. Okay. Okay. What do you guys think of this color? Any comments? I said we're working on this together. Please, Ejo, we're a team. Not bad. Okay, someone made a good point here. Someone made a good point here. Won't it fade out when we start reducing? That's when we try to get lighter shades of it. But I need you guys to understand that before you start out on a project or start creating designs for a product, you need to first of all ask yourself some questions. Because I remember I think I saw Trudy's comments. Trudy is one of your mentors, right? I think I saw Trudy's comment on Slack where he mention. He said that you can only get different variations of your colors if you're going to make use of it on your design. So if at the end of the day you realize that okay, I'm not going to make use of these lighter shades of these colors, then there's no need doing it. But most people like to do it, okay, just so that they can actually make use of them or it can come in handy. But if at the end of the day I am not going to make use of these other colors, right? There is no need creating them. So we're going to have to go for a different color. I'm still seeing colors here. But that was a very good point, Osas. Thank you very much. I'm going to try other colors. I can see one here from Gems. Let's see what Gems has for us. Now, wow. Okay, I'm going to try another one from Ode, Bode, Anu. Okay. 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 From Basi, I'm copying this now. I hope our client is seeing all of this. Wow. Someone said IQ's club is Manchester, so we should use red. Okay, EHC, the color code for our primary color is 3C8CC4. That's the color code for our primary color. I hope you've gotten it. Okay, so our client finally wants to say something. All right, Ike, over to you.
Okay, yeah. So in the spirit of being a difficult client, I've actually seen some of the work you've actually put into it. So I'm sorry, I'm actually going to scatter everything. So primary color has to change. Everything actually, I don't like the colors. Thank you very much. I don't like them. So someone actually said right here, I'm actually Manchester United fan. So yeah, even though we are not winning any trophies this season, but it's fine. So I would actually prefer a red and a white. Play around with the shades, okay, but give me my red and my white. Thank you very much.
Okay, please, you guys should not cry. Someone said Man U fans be doing the most. So I think I like what Ikis is doing here, because whether you like it or not, when you start working on real life projects, you're going to realize that you're going to come in contact with a lot of clients. You know, the ones that makes the job easy, and then the one so how much is the client paying? It's going to grade you. So you're going to come in contact with a lot of different clients, the ones that make the job easy, and the ones that are going to frustrate you. Okay, very difficult clients. That is the world that we live in now. So because we know what our clients want, he said he wants red and white to play around with it. Trudy is saying red and yellow most times. So I want you guys to give me red colors now. I want to start seeing color codes for red. So because we're changing our primary color. So I'm waiting for suggestion, please. Waiting for suggestions. I'm going to just take this out. Primary color by Easy. Let's see what Easy has for us. Yes, true. I was going to point this out. Thank you very much, Trudy. So you know how we cannot use red for our primary buttons, because we know that it decodes error. So this is where we get to tell our clients that he doesn't know what he wants. Because that saying that customers are always right, it is not entirely true. The customer may actually want something, but it is in our place to tell the customer or the client that this will not actually go well. Thank you very much, Trudy, for pointing that out. Make customer rest. Okay, so we have to pick a color for our clients, and at the end of the day, he's not going to have a choice that like it, because like I said, the client is not always right. Okay, so I want this I want this class to be very interactive. So I want somebody on this call, somebody very daring that is not afraid of the client, to unmute his or her mic and convince, but raise your hands first, please. And convince our clients, okay, as to why we need to change this color and suggest a color that will be most preferable. I need somebody on this call. Please raise your hands and convince our clients. Ethan, okay, we have daring people on this call. I want to be like you guys when I grow up. Okay, Ethan, what do you have for us?
Good afternoon, Mr. Ikes. So as regards to the colors you wanted for the application, you said you wanted the color red for the primary color, and you suggested that because you're a Manchester United fan or whatever. So the thing is, in designing the application, red is primarily an error button, and to be honest, it will also confuse you if I do it that way. So maybe I suggest you use maybe another one of Manchester United's strips, maybe their blue strip or their yellow strip. They have other jersey colors, just like a suggestion.
Okay, Ethan, thank you very much. So yeah, I hear you guys talking a lot about aerostate and blah blah blah. I'm not interested. Okay, excuse me. Quick one. UBA, what's their color? Zenith Bank, what's their color? Am I saying something? UBA, Zenith Bank, what's their color? Somebody should maybe on the chat or something, what's their primary color? Okay, so I'm seeing it red, right? Red, and UBA. So UBA is not screaming error for you. Zenith Bank is not screaming error for you, right? Okay, so good. Leave me alone and give me what I want. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we have a stubborn client. Very stubborn client. But we're not going to back down because only Ethan has said what was able to convince the client. We're going to try out other people, okay, to see if this client is going to budge. So Trudy said, what about First Bank and other banks? Okay, so like Trudy rightly said on the chat, right? It all boils down to what the app is, the application is all about. So I remember she said something in the previous class about colors, okay, color psychology, and she did a very great job. Thank you very much, Design Chi. Where she mentioned that for a food ordering app, for example, you need to use enticing colors. Those colors that will make a client salivate. So we're not going to use colors like black or purple and all of those dark colors. We tend to use bright colors like orange because colors actually have meanings. So now the client wants a book ordering app and he wants red. I think we still need to convince him. So Victor, please unmute and talk to us.
Okay, good evening. For the red color, according to our last class by Design Chi, the color psychology, like you just said, I don't think it is right for this kind of application because this is an application for you to read books, and I don't know if red is give the right emotion or the right psychology to make you want to read, because I don't know, generally, like we already know red signifies different colors in different regions of the world. For Japan signifies good luck. For Asia signifies good luck. For the western part it signifies like downgrade or a drop in whatever. I don't know how to put it. And in South Africa, it signifies mourning. So it's different stuff. And most of the time, it does not signify anything good or happy. So I don't think it's right for this kind of application. And I hope our clients understand that.
Clients, I cannot speak for our clients. Please, I hope you would understand this.
Okay. So first of all, I like your tone. First of all, I like your tone. I like the fact you're trying to convince me. I also love the fact that you're trying to you're also showing that you kind of picked up a few things from the last class, okay? But I'm still not going to budge. Now, this is why, okay? I think when it comes to books, yeah, it's in this part of the world where red actually signifies danger, okay? Like you said, there are several places where red actually signifies something good. Okay, India, you have it's more like a wealth kind of thing and the likes. And then, of course, red for me actually, has something to do with crime. At the same time, it actually denotes passion also. And then, of course, if I'm someone who is into crime novels and romance novels, red, of course, you should play with the shade, but seriously, you were actually convincing to a point, but I'm sorry, I actually came in here as a very stubborn client, so I stick with what I have, what I want. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On to the next.
Okay. All right. Alban is saying, "Good evening, Mr. Ikes. Having considered your choices, we are suggesting a near red primary color. In this case, winter sky red. Wow, I've never heard of that one. Kindly take a look at the screen for consideration. I'm just going to copy this and try it out. Uh-uh. Winter sky red looks like pink to me, Sha. And I'm definitely sure my client would not want this. But he's on the call though. I do not know. There are a lot of people who Design Chi wants to challenge. Oh god, this is the one I want to hear Design Chi talk now. Please unmute Design Chi and talk to us.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just have I just want to share my thoughts based on the color or something. At the end of the day, when we're designing, we're not just designing for our clients. We're also designing for the users that would use our client's product, right? So in situations like this, where design teams have lots of confusion about what kind of color or imagery, that's where user testing comes in to help out, because our client is not the one he's not the only person that will be downloading all the books on this application. It's 8,001 users. So at the end of the whole confusion of what color and what color not to use, user testing just helps to solve the solution, solve the problem, because we would know what greater percentage of users are having it easy and having a great experience using the application. So that's just my thought. So even if your clients may want to use a particular color at a point in time, fine. But this is where you now give your client an informed decision with statistics, right? Because if you've done lots of user testing and then you're showing your clients that maybe a greater percentage of people who your clients would want to enjoy this application, they are saying this XYZ should be this or ABC. Some really stubborn clients, like everyone is being moved by statistics, right? Because you're building a product to solve a problem or to help people in some way or the other. And your clients will not just want the app to be on Play Store and nobody's downloading it. So situations such as this, rather than turning around red or pink or magenta or whatever color, you could just move over to some other very technical parts that could involve the user experience. Because if people are having difficulties moving around the app and the color is awesome, at the end of the day, so these are just my thoughts. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Design Chi. That was a very good one. So before you started saying something, I think somebody read your mind. We have a comment from Tama. I cannot pronounce your name, please. So he or she said, I want the client to also understand that he might own the app, but he's not the end user. He should consider the users of the application as well. He should use his empathic skills. Does he have one? And consider what they want and how they view things. So the main reason why we're doing all of this is so that you get to understand this when you start working on projects, right? Because you have clients like this, and Ikis is doing a very good job at acting this role, because you have clients like this who who may tend to be very difficult and tell you that this is what they want. But like Design Tree said, he's not the only person using this application. We're not designing this product for only him. We have a lot of people who are going to make use of this application. So we have to consider what they would want to. Would they like to come on this application and they are seeing red everywhere? Okay, does red color actually signify something good? All of those questions, because we're trying to empathize with the user, we're trying to understand the users too, because we're not only trying to understand the clients, right? So with that being said, we might have to reconsider. Okay, I'm just going to call one other person and then we're going to move on. Osas, please unmute and tell us what you've got.
Okay, from my side, I think most of it has been said. Most of what I wanted to say has been said. Like the end user is the final consumer of the said product. So I think we should use the colors from the point of view of the end user. However, we should also try to please the client. So I would have been suggesting that the red color that you wanted so bad in the category where we have to feature the category of books. Um you said something about crime, horror, and love, that we could be using the red color in those segments so that it still gets to see as red while the primary color of the app is something else. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Ustaz.
Okay, so in the spirit of moving forward, of course, you guys know I'm actually a very stubborn person in nature. So, but sometimes I get to listen. So this is what I'm going to give you guys. And after this, no more arguments. Build my product. Thank you very much. I want to download it myself. Thank you so much. I'll be done to be downloading it. Okay, thank you very much. If you want to prove me wrong, glad your user testing and bring facts. Thank you very much. So what I'll do is let's switch it. Let the primary be white, let secondary be red. Thank you very much. Let's get to work.
Okay, so I see a lot of you guys give up so easily. Somebody said, since he was red, let's give him his red. So you should be able to, first of all, tell your user that this would be most preferable for your application, or make suggestions. Okay, fair suggestions. So with that being said, I don't know who suggested this color here, but I kind of like it. I don't know what do we think, the color that we have on the primary, the first rectangle. We need a color that would make you feel relaxed at home and in your safe space. Red does not do that for you. It's carried too much energy for reading a book that you're supposed to feel at rest. Okay. Okay, since we heard from the client, we have to move on with what he wants. And this is where testing is going to prove him wrong. So let's just follow him, you know. Let's follow him. But at the end of the day, right, we're going to carry out our testing. This is where we get to prove our client wrong. Someone said Faye is a Chelsea fan. I am not a Chelsea fan, please. All right, so let's go with red then. So I asked you guys to suggest color codes for red. Okay, I've gotten one from Susan. Let's try this out. Please suggest color codes for red that we can make use of. Like I said, we're doing this together. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is try out all these colors. I've seen a different colors from I've seen a lot of colors from us on the chat. I'm just going to try it out one after the other. I have a color code from Promise here. So I'm going to copy out everything, and then at the end of the day, we'll go with one particular one that we prefer. So that's the second one. I have another one from Oka for Blessing. I'm going to copy that. From Alvan. From Odebode, I know. Okay. It's really almost the same color. Adeyinka. Okay, so we have different versions. I'll just let the client speak now.
Okay, yeah, I think I'll go with the first one. I want the first one. Thank you.
Oh, thank God we can finally move on. All right, so he has chosen the first one. Okay. So this EF 233C is our primary color. So we have a primary color now. So I'm just going to delete this so we don't get confused. Now for our secondary colors, any suggestions, please? Okay, it said no. I think it said white as primary. No, white. No. Or he said white should be the secondary color. So you guys were listening to him. Okay. Okay, so like I said, we're working on this together. So okay, the client said he wants white as primary and red as secondary. Okay. We'll give him whites then. I'll use F9, 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 F9 for the whites. And I'm just going to change this color to something darker so that we can see the colors. Okay, for those of you guys that are trying it out on your own and you're asking for the color codes, for the secondary color, we're having EF233C. EF233C. That's the color code for the secondary color. And for the primary color, we have F9, F9, F9. Okay. So these are our colors. We have the primary colors and the secondary colors. Now we're going to move on. Okay. So what do we think that our home screen is going to consist of? We're done with the color codes, right? And like I said, okay. So before we go into the other one, let's just finish up this what do they call it? This style guide. Let me get different shades of these guys as fast as I can. And then we're going to talk about the textile. Okay, so just like I thought us the last time, I'm going to get different or lighter shades of this color. So first of all, I'm just going to copy this. Control C to copy. Okay, so we have 54 here. So like I said, I like to, add 10 to the number I have here, the third number. Okay, so we have 54 here. I'm just going to add 10 to make it 64. And we have that color. So if we had 64, then that means the next one is going to be 74. And the next one is going to be what? 84. Okay. And for this guy, we have F9, F9, F9. Let's see what we have here. So we have 98. I don't think we're going to be able to, get a lot of lighter shades for this particular color, as we know. So first of all, I'm going to think this already. This is what we're going to have here. Okay, so yes, now and with that being said, we do not have much time. So let's talk about the okay. Sorry about that. Before we go into before we go into the textiles, let's create a style guide out of this. We're following a due process. So this is a primary color. And like I told you guys earlier, just where we have style here, we're just going to create our style. Click on the plus sign that says create style. We're going to call this primary Primary one. Create a style out of this guy too. And call this okay. So like I said before, it is very important to not only create your styles but know how to use them, because I saw a lot of people who actually made use of, who created styles, who created color styles, but then they did not make use of them in their designs. So you have to learn how to make use of the color styles you have created in your designs. So we're just going to create a style for all of these guys. Okay, so we have our color styles handy, and we'll be looking at the textiles now. So what textile do we suggest we use for this application? Please give your suggestions and be fast about it. We do not really have much time left. This is 6:28. Textiles, please. Montserrat. Leo said ask the client. Poppins. I'm seeing a lot of poppins. Montserrat, DM Sans. Okay. I was going to say majority carries the vote, but I don't think any type textile here is getting the upper hand. Say inter. Okay. We have to use Montserrat then, because I've seen a lot of Montserrat. Inter is not taking the upper hand. We now have to go for Inter then. Okay. So we'll just use Inter then. We call this our typography. Okay. So we agreed that our textile is Inter. Okay. So we're just going to, I do not know how much time we have to create these textiles. Okay. So I'm going to do I'm going to get my text tool. We're going to have So I am not teaching you, right? I already said this class is going to be very interactive. So I need comments on, I need this chat box to be very, very busy right now. So what size? Okay, what size are we using for our title? I need suggestions, please. We've decided we're going for the textile inter. What font size are we using? Quickly, please. Jesus, what is going on? I think 9684. This is an application, not a website. Okay, I've seen 48. Ah, wow. 40, 60, 46, 32. 32. Morenike. 32 is what we have here now. So Trudy said 24 pixels for heading 1. That is the title works best for mobile. Okay. So this is a very, very important point to note, because I'm seeing a lot of odd numbers like 100 and all of that. First you have to know that we're designing for a mobile application. So the pixel, the number of pixels you're using for a website is not going to be the same thing you're going to use for your mobile application. Okay. All right. So for this application, the application for our client, IKEYS, we're going to go for 24 pixels. Okay. And since this is the title, I'm going to make this medium. And for the so this is for our heading 1. Okay. So for the subheading, I want to use 20 to 18 pixel. I'm going to use 20 for this guy. So for my subheading 1, which is 20, I want to have, the medium. That's for the weight, for the medium and the regular. Okay, and then for my subheading 2, I'm going to use 18. Just like I did for the other one. I'm going to make this guy regular. Okay, and then for the body text, we're going to have 16. I'm sure we know what body M is. M is for medium. And R is for regular. To make this 16. Make this guy medium. And if you want to have our labels, that should be the last one, and then we're good. The labels, we're going to make the labels 14. Okay, so with that being said, we're just going to go ahead and create our styles. Okay, our text styles. So just like we like to do, we're going to play around with this guy. So I'm just going to replicate this. No, to avoid a lot of jobs, I'm just going to create my style first. So just like the normal process of creating a style, click on this icon here, create your style here. We're going to call this our title. Title slash the font size. So we have this. I'm going to call this guy subheading 1. Same thing for these guys. This is what we already know. Okay, so I forgot to name this guy. This is supposed to be subheading regular. 1 regular. This was supposed to be subheading 2. Sorry about that. So this is what we already know, creating your textiles. But like I said earlier, what's the point of creating textiles that we're not going to make use of? So if you're going to go through the pain of creating your textiles, you have to make sure that you actually use them when you're creating your design. Okay, for our body, we have body we don't have much time, so we're just going to brush through these guys. So we have the label. Okay. So yes, we have our textiles here, and Okay. So we don't have much time, right? So we already know what creating a style guide entails. You know, the textiles, the color styles, and all of that. So now I want us to discuss the bottom navigation. You know, this is a mobile application, so surely there has to be a bottom navigation bar. So I want you guys to, on the chat box, tell me what the bottom nav is going to entail. Okay, what are those items that we're going to have on the bottom navigation of this application? Okay, we have the home icon. Let me just write it here. Permits me to write it down here. Explore, which is also the search. The same profile. I'm seeing library, good one. Okay, I learned Nkiru has a question. Nkiru, please, are you on this call? Okay, all right. Please unmute and ask your question.
Okay, thank you. I want to ask question concerning this guide. I've seen how important it is. Actually, when I did my dribble design, the last task we were given, actually I used my guide, both the color and the text guide. But I realized something. When the first comment or when they commented on my this thing, the first comment wasn't about my guide because it was used, but it was that I should increase my text so that it can be more legible. Now I did. But after I did, I discovered that it seems the thing was no longer inside the style guide, whatever, because when they commented on it the second time, I think Inhechi was telling me that I should use my test guide. I was like, I used it. So later I realized that that was where the problem.
Nkiru, calm down. Nkiru, please, what is your question? Just go straight to the point. We do not have much time.
Okay, my question is this. If you want to make changes to the column or text, where exactly do we make it? And so that it will reflect on the things we have already done. If we want to make changes on our text, maybe take for instance, you use red and somebody said your client said you should use blue. How will you do it so that it will automatically reflect on maybe on the designs that have red colors? That's what I want to know. I don't know if you get me.
Okay, Nkiru, I've heard your question. So like we already rightly said, if you want to make any changes and you want it to affect all your other screens, I think I heard when he actually said this in one of his the review sessions he conducted. You have to make sure that whatever you're doing is a component. It is when you create a component out of your colors, your buttons, and all of that, and you replicate them. When you actually make changes to the original one, it affects all the others. So if what you're talking about is probably you made I don't know, design a button or a text or whatever, and you want to make changes and you want these changes, okay, to alter, like you want the changes to direct to all the other ones, okay, you have to make it a component. So once you make a change to the original, the rest of the other components that you have replicated, the changes affect all of them. So with that being said, we're going to move on. Thank you very much. So I have gotten this list. Okay, EHA, please go on.
I think her question was how to edit your style guide. Let's say you want to change color from red to blue. That's what she was talking about, not the elements to design. The style guide. If you want to edit the color, since you're using red now, and the client comes back and says he wants blue for his design, how do you change it from red to blue? I think that was what she was trying to ask. Because in her design, when they commented that her text is too small, she didn't know how to edit the size of the text. So she just added the new text, and then she could not use her style guide again, because if she applies her style guide on text, it's going to be small again. So she wants to know how to edit the style guide. She's going to have the current changes. You don't need to understand.
Okay,
So
I've
how
heard
to
you.
do that? Okay, how to do that is please go to on your right. See where you have your text styles and your color style. You see the edit style there. You click on it. You can change the color down there. If it's a text, it's the same thing. When you click on edit style, you see the properties. You can edit it from there and see.
Ikiru, if you're on this call, you can see it as the mentor is saying these things. I'm actually showing it to you. So on your right hand side, this is it. You click on this icon. We have edit style, just like he said. So as he was saying it, I was actually carrying it out. So I'm sure you understand now. Okay, so I'm just going to undo this, and we're going to move on. Okay, we do not really have much time. So yes, I have gotten a list of all these items. I've gotten a list of all these items, right, for the bottom navigation bar. And I'm going to pick just a few because we cannot have all of this on the bottom navigation bar. So we're going to go with the home, search, library, collections, and menu. So menu is going to have all of these guys where you have the profile and all of that. Okay, so this is a client project, right? They were working on, and we're going to continue it in the next class because of time. And I want you guys to look forward to the next class actually. So I want you guys to go home and where I said go home as if you're not already in your houses. Sorry about that. I want you guys after this class to create components, right? And when we come to the next class, and also create for like create bottom navigation bars. Okay, when we come to the next class, we're going to pick the best. Okay, we're going to pick the best, and then we're going to use it to continue our client's project. So I'm just going to pick out the items so that you know what to do when you're creating your bottom nav bar. We want the bottom nav bar consist of home, search. I'm going to take this guy out. The library, and a menu that has all the rest that you guys mentioned. You know what a menu consists of. So this is what your this is what you these are the items that should be on your bottom navigation bar. So because of time, I've already been warned. Okay, so you're going to create a bottom navigation bar. We're going to pick out the best because every one of us is going to showcase what we have done, the bottom navigation bar that we have created, and the components too. Okay, like the buttons and all of that. We're going to pick out the best and make use of it in our next class because we're not done with our client's projects. So stay tuned to Friday. Do you have anything to say? Okay, Richard has a question. Did you raise your hand? Okay, first of all, okay, Richard, please unmute and ask your question.
Okay, hi, good evening. Thanks for the class. I really appreciate all the mentors' efforts up until now. My question is, Ikes yesterday said he was going to drop a task for us. Are we supposed to still do the menu bar, or sorry, the what do I call it? The nav bar, yeah. Sorry. Are we supposed to do the nav bar with the task that is going to be dropped on Thursday?
Okay, Richard, thank you very much for your question. But this is not about the task that Ike said he was going to drop. This is about our class. And like I said, today was an interactive session. We all did this thing together. So I want you to go back and work on the navigation bar, okay, for the client project. This is not about the tax. A tax will be dropped whatever he wants. Okay, I think your tax is always usually being dropped on Thursdays, but this is not about the task. This is so that when we all come back into the next class on Friday, we can pick up from where we stopped today. Do you understand?
Oh yeah, definitely I do. Thank you very much.
Okay. Read one, please. Unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to confirm about this project we're working on. Is it actually a book ordering app or a reading app? I don't know if you get my question.
It's a book
Or
ordering
is
application.
one of the two?
It
So
is
because
a
I'm
book.
confused about the menu items. If it's for ordering, then I don't know if library should be there. Maybe library should be replaced with cards or something. Just an observation.
If I heard my client right, he said that he wants to be able to read books, okay, download books, and also order for a hard copy or soft copy. So you're not just coming on this application to just order, right? People can also read. That's why we have the library. And people can actually save collections of books that they've downloaded, and they can also place an order for either a hard copy or soft copy.
Okay. So it's a
Alright.
combination of.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. In the absence of no other questions, I'm going to call on our case to round this up.
Okay, thank you very much, Favor, Mentor Shudi, AHE Design Chi. Thank you guys. Thank you also, Lenas, for accepting me as your client, though I was a bit stubborn. And yeah, so let me give you guys heads up. There's every possibility that in the next session, I just change my mind about certain things and what you guys have done. Okay, I like to not just teach people skill. I also like to teach them the character that's the drive, whatever it is required to actually stay in the job. Okay, and you will meet some situations or uncomfortable situations when working for clients. It's very, very possible. So the question is, how do you get to coordinate yourself and still get the job done? And we saw something like that, and design team actually just helped us to how you could actually solve that. One of the ways, of course, user testing and the like. So we'll have more of this. Okay, I'm going to be I'll be a very, very, very stubborn client for you guys moving forward. So get ready. And the essence is for you guys to learn, okay, to understand, okay, what it actually takes, not just to go on the Figma board, but to actually solve problems. I love the discussions. I love the back and forth. I love you guys trying to convince me, and me trying to fight back. These are things you may actually see, in the course of your UI UX journey. So having to handle it now, I feel is just a plus for you guys. So thank you very much. In the next next class, you guys get to round up round up and pick up from where you stop. So I think this is where we're going to call it time out. So thank you guys very much. Okay, if you have any questions, please do so on the Slack channel. Okay, and your mentors will be there to answer swift as possible. Okay, so thank you very much and have a wonderful night rest. See you on Friday.